Hello, everyone, dear viewers. Today, we will go on a journey through the tragic fates of 20 actors of the legendary series Good Times, which once gave us joy and unforgettable moments on screen. This sitcom went down in history as one of the most beloved family comedies. But behind the glitter of television cameras, there were sad and sometimes dramatic fates of its actors. You will find out what happened to the bright and independent Janet Dubois, whose life ended too early, and why the death of Ben Powers was such a shock for his loved ones and fans. We will also tell you how Esther Raleigh, who embodied the image of a caring mother, fought for justice on screen and in life until the end. This episode is full of incredible stories about people who gave us their images, but whose lives behind the scenes were full of trials. Watch to the end to find out how illnesses, personal tragedies, and unexpected deaths ruined the lives of some of these talented actors. The stories behind these screens will not leave you indifferent. Janet Dubois as Willona Woods is one of the most memorable characters on the show, adding a unique charm and energy. Willona, the Evans family's neighbor, was known for her flamboyant style and independence. She was a strong, self-sufficient woman who was always ready to help her friends. Her wit, courage, and attitude brought comic and emotional moments to the show, and her scenes always stood out for their dynamics and charisma. Willona also played an important role in the characters' lives, often being the one who helps in difficult times. Janet Dubois, born August 5, 1945, was not only a talented actress, but also a singer and composer. She became famous for her roles in television series, but her musical achievements also left a deep mark on the industry. One of her most famous works was performing the theme song for the series The Jeffersons, Movin' On Up. Her career included many successful projects, and she became an iconic figure for many generations of viewers. Janet Dubois died on February 17, 2020, at the age of 74. The cause of death was cardiovascular disease, which became known after her death. She was found unconscious in her home in Glendale, California, after which her death was announced. Doctors confirmed that she had heart problems that developed gradually. Her death was unexpected for many of her fans, as the actress remained active and full of energy until the end. She continued to participate in various projects until her health finally deteriorated. Her passing was a huge loss to the entertainment industry, but Janet's memory lives on through her roles in music, which remain an important part of the cultural heritage. Esther Raleigh as Florida Evans is one of the most central and profound characters in the series, who embodied fortitude and devotion to family. Florida is the matriarch of the Evans family, who, with her fortitude, wisdom, and love, kept the family together despite all the hardships and adversity they faced. Her character symbolized honesty, moral principles, and boundless care for her loved ones. Florida was someone you could always count on, and her scenes in the series were filled with both comedic and emotional moments, making her one of the most beloved characters. Esther Raleigh, born November 8, 1920, began her career in the theater, but gained the greatest recognition for her television roles. She played not only in Good Times, but also in the series Maude, where her character Florida Evans was first introduced. Esther is known for her commitment to social justice and women's rights, and her role as Florida embodied all the ideals she stood for in life. Throughout her career, Roll received numerous awards for her contributions to film and television. Esther Roll died on November 17, 1998, at the age of 78. The cause of death was complications from diabetes, which she had suffered from for many years. Her death was a heavy blow to her fans and colleagues, as Esther was a symbol of resilience and vitality. Despite her long battle with illness, she remained active until the last years of her life, continuing to participate in various projects and advocate for people's rights. Her death occurred the day after her 78th birthday. Esther Roll left behind a rich legacy as an actress and activist, and her character Florida Evans remains one of the most beloved and significant figures in the history of American television. Johnny Brown as Nathan Bookman is the comic relief character who added some lightness and humor to the show. Nathan Bookman was the superintendent of the building where the Evans family lived and often found himself in funny situations that made him the butt of jokes from JJ and the other characters. Despite his sometimes ridiculous moments, Bookman remained good-natured and patient, bringing his bright comedic moments to the show. His character was a kind of contrast to the more serious topics of the show, which allowed the audience to relax a little and laugh. Johnny Brown, born June 11, 1937, was not only an actor but also a talented singer and comedian. He began his career in the entertainment industry by participating in comedy shows and musical productions. Before becoming known for his role as Bookman in Good Times, Johnny Brown performed on the stages of Broadway musicals and worked with such stars as Sammy Davis, Jr. His career can be called multifaceted, as he also actively starred in other projects and often appeared on television, playing comedic roles. Johnny Brown died on March 2, 2022, at the age of 84. The cause of death was heart disease. His family said that his death was unexpected, and he died shortly after suffering a heart attack. Despite his age and health problems, Johnny remained cheerful and active until his last days. His passing was a great loss for everyone who knew and worked with him. Johnny Brown left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry, and his characters, especially his role as Nathan Bookman, will continue to bring smiles to audiences for many years to come. Ben Powers as Keith Anderson is the character that brought romance and drama to the show. Keith Anderson was a professional football player and the husband of Florida Evans' daughter, Thelma. His appearance in the show added an extra layer of interest as Keith and Thelma's relationship developed against the backdrop of difficult life situations. Keith suffered a serious leg injury, which led to his retirement from the sport and dealt a blow to his confidence. However, his fortitude and love for Thelma helped him cope with the difficulties, making his character an important element of the show. Ben Powers, born July 5, 1950, was not only an actor but also a talented comedian and singer. He began his career on stage and in comedy shows and then came to television, where he received recognition for his role as Keith Anderson in the series Good Times. Ben also starred in other popular TV shows and movies, such as The New Mike Hammer and Cheech and Chong's Next Movie. His charm and charisma made him a prominent figure on screen. Ben Powers died on April 6, 2015, at the age of 64. The cause of death was liver cancer, which he suffered from in the last years of his life. His passing was a huge blow to his family and fans. Powers tried to remain active in the industry until the disease began to progress. His death reminded many of what a wonderful and multifaceted artist he was. The role of Keith Anderson and his other works left a deep mark on the hearts of viewers, and his legacy lives on through the characters he brought to life on screen. Albert Reed as Alderman Fred Davis is a character who represented an important figure in the community, helping to raise social and political issues. Alderman Fred Davis was a local government official who often interacted with the Evans family to try to solve problems that the residents of their neighborhood were facing. Reed's role added gravitas to the series and gave depth to scenes dealing with social justice issues. Albert Reed, born January 28, 1910, had a long and varied career that began in theater and expanded into television and film. Before joining Good Times, he was already known for his roles in other projects such as Kojak and Starsky and Hutch. Reed was also an outspoken advocate for African American rights in Hollywood, seeking to change the way black people were portrayed on screen and combat stereotypes. Albert Reed died on May 31, 1986, at the age of 76. The cause of death was a heart attack. He was respected not only for his achievements as an actor, but also for his activism. His legacy lives on through his work and his contribution to improving the representation of black actors in the industry. Teddy Wilson as Sweet Daddy Williams is one of the most memorable characters on the show. Sweet Daddy was known for his wealth, influence, and style, which was reflected in his flashy suits and well-groomed appearance. He was often involved in illegal activities, but his charisma and charm made him a character that viewers both loved and feared. His connections to the criminal underworld added an element of tension to the show, which contrasted with the more mundane storylines. Teddy Wilson, born December 10, 1943, was not only a talented actor but also a comedian. He began his career in sitcoms and gradually moved to television, where he starred in popular series such as Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, and What's Happening. His comedic timing and delivery made him one of the brightest actors of his time. Teddy Wilson died on July 21, 1991, at the age of 47. The cause of death was a stroke, which led to his sudden passing. His early death came as a shock to fans and colleagues, as Wilson was at the peak of his career and continued to delight audiences with his roles. Despite his premature passing, his characters, such as Sweet Daddy Williams, remain in the memory of viewers as a symbol of charisma and unique style. Helen Martin as Wanda Williams, known as Crying Wanda, was a comic addition to the dramatic lines of the series. Wanda was known for her tendency to cry at the most unexpected and inappropriate moments, which gave her character a special charm. Wanda was part of those scenes that help diffuse tense moments and add lightness to the plot. The comic nature of her character always brought smiles to the audience. Helen Martin, born July 23, 1909, was one of the first African-American actresses to gain wide recognition in Hollywood. Her career included many roles in theater, film, and television. Helen was active on the stage in Harlem and later moved to Hollywood, where she began acting in such projects as Sanford and Son and 227. She played many bright and memorable characters, becoming a favorite of many generations of viewers. Helen Martin died on March 25, 2000, at the age of 90. The cause of death was cardiac arrest. Her passing marked the end of an era, but her roles, especially as Crying Wanda, live on in the hearts of fans. Despite her advanced age, Helen remained active and worked until the end of her days, a testament to her dedication to the art and her love for the acting profession. Moses Gunn as Carl Dixon is an important character in Florida Evans's life, who appeared on the show after her husband's death. Carl, as a widower, faced the difficulties of raising his child alone, and his arc on the show was represented by deep and emotional scenes. His relationship with Florida developed slowly, but it showed viewers that even after loss, you can find new love and support in life. Carl Dixon was a strong and responsible man who fought for his happiness. Moses Gunn, born October 2, 1929, was an outstanding actor of theater, film, and television. His career spanned such significant projects as The Never-Ending Story, Roots, and Shaft. Gunn was known for his deep, powerful voice and expressive face, which made his characters incredibly convincing. In the theater, he received many awards for his performances, including nominations for a Tony Award. Moses Gunn died on December 16, 1993, at the age of 64. The cause of death was asthma, which he suffered from for a long time. Despite the chronic illness, Moses continued to work until the end of his days, demonstrating incredible fortitude and professionalism. His roles, such as Carl Dixon, remain in the memory of viewers as an example of courage and fortitude. Matthew "Stymie" Beard added a touch of comedy to the series as Monty. Monty was known for his charisma and ability to find himself in the center of comic situations. Beard rose to fame as a child actor on the popular sitcom Our Gang, where he became known as Stymie due to his trademark fedora and flamboyant style. Matthew "Stymie" Beard, born January 1, 1925, began his career as a child actor on the popular sitcom Our Gang in the 1930s. His memorable image as a kid with a trademark fedora made him popular with audiences of the time. His acting career became less active in adulthood, but he continued to act in films and on television, appearing in projects such as The Buddy Holly Story and Good Times. Matthew Beard died on January 8, 1981, at the age of 56. The cause of death was a stroke that suddenly ended his life. His death came as a surprise to many who knew and loved him as a child. Beard left behind a unique legacy as one of the first African-American actors to gain widespread recognition in Hollywood, and his contributions to the industry continue to be valued today. Bubba Smith as Claude is a character who brought his powerful physicality and charisma to the series. Claude was a frequent visitor to the Evans home and added a comic element to the series with his massive frame and seemingly incongruous gentle nature. His appearance often contradicted his personality, which created many humorous situations. Bubba Smith, born February 28, 1945, was known not only as an actor but also as an outstanding athlete. Before starting his acting career, Bubba was a professional American football player and had a successful career in the National Football League, NFL, playing for the Baltimore Colts, Oakland Raiders, and Houston Oilers. After retiring from sports, he turned to film and became known for his role as Moses Hightower in the Police Academy comedy film series. Bubba Smith died on August 3, 2011, at the age of 66. The cause of death was an overdose of medications that were prescribed to him to treat chronic pain from numerous injuries sustained during his athletic career. An autopsy also revealed that he had developed chronic traumatic encephalopathy, a condition caused by repeated blows to the head. His passing was a tragedy for many, but his memory as a successful athlete and flamboyant comedian lives on through his work in film and television. Richard Ward as Henry Evans is the patriarch of the Evans family, who was the epitome of a caring and strong patriarch. Henry was an example of resilience and patience, supporting his family through difficult times. His character symbolized the difficulties that African American families faced during those years, but he always tried to find ways to support his family morally and financially. Richard Ward, born March 15, 1915, was an accomplished stage and film actor who began his career on the stage and later moved to television and film. His deep, rich voice made him a recognizable actor, and his work included roles in films such as Hard-Boiled Boys and Brubaker. Ward was also one of the first African Americans to land significant roles in Broadway theater, making him a pioneer for many actors of his generation. Richard Ward died on July 1, 1979, at the age of 64. The cause of death was a heart attack. His passing is a blow to the theater and film community, as Ward was not only a talented actor but also a mentor to many young artists. His legacy lives on through the powerful and heartfelt roles he delivered during his long and successful career. Alice Ghostly as Hortense Dobbs is a character who added comedy and levity to the series. Hortense was a maid with a rather sarcastic and dry sense of humor, which made her scenes in the series bright and memorable. She often found herself in funny situations and made sharp but apt remarks which made the audience laugh. Her character served as a comic respite from the more serious storylines. Alice Ghostly, born August 14, 1923, was known for her comedic roles in series such as Bewitched and Designing Women. Her distinctive voice and unique acting style made her one of the most memorable character actresses of that time. Alice began her career on the stage and then moved on to television and film, where she gained wide recognition for her roles as eccentric and comedic characters. Alice Ghostley died on September 21, 2007, at the age of 84. The cause of death was colon cancer, which she had been battling for several years. Despite her illness, Alice continued to act until the last years of her life. Her passing was a great loss to the industry, but her legacy as one of the best comedic actresses lives on through her unforgettable roles. Susan Batson as the barmaid is a small but memorable role that added an air of realism to the series. The barmaid was a character that often appeared in the background, but her presence and interactions with the other characters made her an important part of the overall picture of the show. Even though her role was episodic, Susan managed to add depth to her character through precise and thoughtful dialogue. Susan Batson, born February 27, 1943, is a renowned actress, producer, and acting coach. In addition to her work as an actress, she has trained many Hollywood stars, helping them develop their skills and achieve success in film. Her career has spanned many roles in theater and film, and she has received recognition for her achievements both on and off stage. Susan Batson continues to be active in the industry, training actors and producing new projects. Her contributions to the film industry as an actress and mentor remain an important part of her legacy, and her career continues to evolve despite her many years in the industry. James Wheaton as the bailiff is a character who brought elements of justice and order to the series. The bailiff was the one who enforced the laws and resolved conflicts between the characters, appearing in several episodes. Although his role was minor, Wheaton brought a gravitas and authority to his character, making his scenes important to the development of the plot. James Wheaton, born January 11, 1924, was a well-known film and television actor who starred in a number of popular projects. He also worked as a voice actor, and his voice can be heard in films such as Planet of the Apes. Wheaton was a versatile actor who handled both dramatic and comedic roles with ease. James Wheaton died on June 9, 2002, at the age of 78. The cause of death was lung cancer, which he had been battling for several years. Despite his illness, he continued to work and remained active in the industry until the last years of his life. His passing was a loss to the film industry, but his roles continue to live on screen and inspire new generations of actors and viewers. Johnny Secca as Ibe Wubila is a character who brought an international perspective and depth to the series. Ibe Wubila was an African diplomat, making his appearance in the series significant in highlighting cultural differences and understanding global issues. The character was highly intelligent, polite, and decisive, which earned the respect of the other characters. His interactions with the Evans family showed how people from different cultures can find common ground and help each other despite differences in social status and background. Johnny Secca, born July 21, 1934 in Senegal, was a renowned British actor who made a name for himself in international film and television projects. He began his career in the UK, starring in films such as The L-Shaped Room and Khartoum, before moving to the United States, where he continued his work in television and film. Secca was one of the first African movie stars to gain international recognition. His talent and professionalism allowed him to land roles in films and TV series that not only entertained but also educated viewers on racial and cultural issues. Johnny Secca died on September 14, 2006, at the age of 72 from lung cancer. His death left a deep loss in the world of film and television, especially among those who valued his contribution to the development of cinema for Black actors. His role in Good Times and other projects continues to inspire actors and audiences around the world, remaining a reminder of the power of culture and art. Ron Glass as Mr. Anderson is the character that brought comic relief and wit to the show. Mr. Anderson was a teacher with a blunt sense of humor and strict principles, which created many funny situations in his interactions with the other characters. His dry humor and ability to find a way out of difficult situations added an extra layer of comedy and levity to the show. Mr. Anderson's interactions with the Evans family were filled with humor, but he was also the one who helped the characters find a way out of difficult situations. Ron Glass, born July 10, 1945, is an American actor, best known for his role in the TV series Barney Miller, where he played Detective Ron Harris. His career spanned many roles in both television and film. Glass had a unique acting style that combined drama and humor, which made him a favorite of viewers. He also starred in popular shows like The Twilight Zone and Firefly, earning recognition as one of the most talented actors of his generation. Ron Glass died on November 25, 2016, at the age of 71 from respiratory failure. His passing was a great loss to the entertainment industry, and his work continues to be beloved by fans around the world. Roles like Mr. Anderson and Detective Harris will forever be remembered as examples of the finest acting. Talmas Rasulala, as Ernie Harris, is a character who added dramatic depth to the series. Ernie Harris was an authoritative and respected member of the community whose opinion mattered to those around him. He often found himself in difficult situations that required wisdom and experience, and his decisions always reflected the moral dilemmas that the characters were facing. Rasulala gave his character a calm and authoritative aura, which made his scenes especially memorable. Talmas Rasulala, born November 15, 1939, was an American actor and director who rose to fame for his roles in films such as Blackula and Cool Breeze. He also appeared in a number of popular television shows, including Sanford and Son, The Twilight Zone, and Star Trek: The Next Generation. His rich, deep voice and strong screen presence made him one of the most respected black actors of his time. Talmas Rasulala died on October 9, 1991, at the age of 51 from heart failure. His sudden death came as a shock to his fans and colleagues, as he was active in the industry until his last days. Despite his early passing, his works have left a lasting mark on the history of cinema and television, and his roles continue to delight audiences. Vivian Bonnell as Clara is a character who added elements of family ties and complex relationships to the series. Clara was related to the Evans family, and her appearances on the show were often accompanied by dramatic moments involving conflicts and family dilemmas. Vivian Bonnell made her character deeply human, showing that despite conflicts, family ties always remain strong. Her character represented an important part of the plot, which raised issues of family and personal relationships. Vivian Bonnell, born May 23, 1924, was an actress who was originally from Antigua and made a name for herself in television and theater. She moved to the United States, where she began her career and soon became known for her theater and television roles. Vivian worked extensively on Broadway, where she received recognition for her performances, and then moved on to film and television. Her work includes roles in projects such as The Jeffersons and The Cosby Show. Vivian Bonnell died on November 18, 2003, at the age of 79, from complications of diabetes. Her death was a great loss to the theater and television industries, as she was one of the actresses who paved the way for African American women in the industry. Her work remains an important part of the cultural heritage, and her characters continue to inspire interest and admiration among audiences. Bill Henderson, as the nightclub owner, is a minor but significant role that added a local business and music atmosphere to the series. The nightclub owner was the one who provided the characters with a place to meet and discuss, and also gave the audience a chance to see another side of life in the big city. His club was an important element in the development of the plot, and although Henderson's role was minor, his presence always gave the scenes a special atmosphere. Bill Henderson, born March 19, 1926, was not only an actor but also a talented jazz singer. His deep voice and musical talent made him one of the most recognizable jazz performers of his time. In addition to his musical career, Henderson was active in film and television, appearing in such projects as Sanford and Son, Punky Brewster, and White Men Can't Jump. His unique combination of musical and acting talent made him a favorite of the audience. Bill Henderson died on April 3, 2016, at the age of 90. His death marked the end of a long and successful career, but his musical recordings and acting work continue to inspire and delight fans around the world. Henderson was not only a talented artist, but also a man who made a huge contribution to the development of jazz music and culture as a whole. Betty Waldron as the girl is a small but memorable recurring character in the series. Her character added lightness and spontaneity to the scenes she appeared in. The girl, played by Waldron, was often involved in comic situations. Her charm and ease made her character interesting and enjoyable for the audience. Despite the brevity of her appearance, her character contributed to the overall mood of the series, adding elements of light humor and lively scenes. Betty Waldron, born in the United States, was a talented actress known for her roles in episodes on television. Her screen career included several projects, where she showed herself as an actress with a strong character and the ability to create memorable images, even in small roles. Betty Waldron died on December 1, 2004. Her passing was a loss for those who worked with her and for those who remember her work on screen. Although her roles were not always large, her screen presence left a positive impression.